Hi Leo, welcome to your August 2020 love and romance reading. I do apologize for the late love posting this month, guys, but your September video will be up much sooner. I promise you guys, you'll get it in advance. But we're going to check in here and see what's coming up for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. I know a lot of you like to check out your Venus sign when it comes to love and romance. So we're going to see what messages are coming up for Leo this month, my darlings, for love and romance. Now, if you hate love readings and you don't even know why you're watching a love reading right now and you're new to the channel, do be aware that every single week I do weekly forecasts around spiritual messages, family stuff, career, finance, everything other than love. Whatever spirit wants to talk about. So be aware of that. Okay, my dears? Okay, so your first card here is Nine of Swords. And the reason why I said, whoa, okay, is this is the second time I'm doing your reading because I did not like the way the first one was going. I was like, let me clear some energy and let me start over again for Leo. Like Leo's been through enough. I didn't like the way it was coming in. So I was like, let me clear the energy and let me go into this in a different way. And your first card was the Devil. And there's a lot of different ways that that can go. But now your first card here is the Nine of Swords. So Spirit is letting us know that, like when you guys had the Devil card that came up the first time, the reading that I didn't post, it's the energy of fear. It's the energy of anxiety. It's the energy of worry, because that's one of the meanings of the Devil card. So in this way, you know, I like this because Spirit is coming in and giving the message in a different way, in a more clear way, and in a way that lets us know kind of what can be done or what can be changed here. Nine of Swords says anxiety. You see that there at the bottom? By the way, this is a really great deck to use if you're new to tarot and you have a hard time remembering what the different cards mean, because this card has little like keywords, and as always I'll have the information description. But Nine of Swords here is a card that we're being told, be careful, be cautious where you're putting your energy. Okay, some of you are on the verge of pushing somebody away. There may be a new love opportunity, or you may have a partner who's really making an effort to try to get close to you right now. Like maybe they did mess up. And guys, please understand something from me right now. When I say they messed up, I'm not talking about something abusive or something like totally unacceptable, right? Like I'm not telling you to stay with someone who's hurting you physically or emotionally. I'm not telling you to stay with somebody abusive. That's a whole nother messed up. I'm not talking about that kind of messed up. But maybe they just have not been, you know, the kind of partner that you need, and things have been happening where maybe you felt left out or you felt hurt, right? And so this person's trying to make an effort, or they're trying to fix the relationship. But the Nine of Swords can indicate that you just have such a fear over what could go wrong. And you have all of these judgments where you're blaming yourself. You know, you're blaming yourself for like what happened. And you're feeling like, well, you know, well, what if they find somebody that's their same background? Or what if they find somebody that's closer to them in their age? Or what if they find somebody younger? Or what if they find somebody more attractive or more successful, or like whatever? It's like all of the little what ifs that's like making you go crazy. And for other ones of you, it could be that you're wanting to get out there and like find a partner, but you have all of these self-judgments. Like you have all of these fears of like, you know, how people might be viewing you or seeing you, or all of the reasons why you think it's going to be super hard for you to meet somebody or to find the right person. And the Nine of Swords just wants us to know is like, look, you need to take a moment and just kind of try to get some rest, because one of the things I see with Nine of Swords is it also comes in with insomnia, like 9 out of 10 times. When this energy is up, the person's also having a really hard time sleeping. And so when you're tired, what ends up happening is you become uber emotional, right? And it's like when you're super emotional, it's really hard to make good decisions. It's really hard to think clearly, and we become super emotional, right? That's how humans are. You see it in babies when the kid's like throwing a fit and being like, oh, okay, they're just tired, it's time for a nap. Sometimes we need a nap too, right? When we're getting all super emotional, we might need a nap. We might need to rest. So don't underestimate the power of trying to regulate your sleep and doing what you can to kind of doze off and to drift off into sleep. Try to do what you can to make sure you're getting enough rest. You know, maybe you do need to take naps right now. And so another message before I move on to the next card with the Nine of Swords is sometimes it's like we're so worried about something happening that we actually manifest it. We create it into existence, right? If we're continually searching for something, eventually we're going to find it, right? So it might not be in your best interest, Leo, to be constantly allowing yourself to worry about what might be going wrong. Ask your angels and guides to help you, stay in a optimistic vibration and look at like what you can do to protect yourself, right? Right? Like if this relationship's not going to work out, what are some things that I can do to prepare myself? Or if it does end up being that this person's lying to me, what are some ways that I can protect myself? Like just kind of finding ways to be cautious or finding ways to take steps to where you don't feel as though you're risking as much. And then the rest, kind of surrendering it and leaving it in God's hands, in your higher power, to take care of the things that are not in your control. One more thing is also if you're getting over a broken heart, like if somebody really, really hurt you, this card comes up to let you know that, again, you're judging yourself way too much. It's not about you. There's nothing you could have done for this person in or out of bed that would have changed their behavior. We can't control how somebody behaves. That says a lot about that person and their character. It's not like you failed to meet the mark to pull them in. If they didn't want to be with you, then they should have been honest about that, right? It's not about you failing. It's not like, oh, well, I'm not sure, maybe if you're good enough, you can convince me. That's not how love works. So it's not about, like, you didn't fail, so stop beating yourself up. The next card here is Two of Wands, okay? So some of you might be having anxiety because you might be tempted. You might be tempted by another relationship, or you may be wanting to let somebody in and something in your gut is like, I don't know, like just something here doesn't feel right, or something here doesn't feel like 100%, or I'm really not sure. Because Two of Wands can be at times we're having a really hard time making a decision. So decision. Do you want to let somebody in or not? Do you want to stay in a relationship or not? Do you want to be with this person or that person? So it could be a complex choice or a decision. And what the Two of Wands wants you to know is that you need to look at the situation first and foremost by what is your long-term goal? Don't get caught up in the short term, right? In the short term, we all just kind of want to be with somebody, right? Or we don't want to be alone or whatever it might be. But what is your long-term vision for your life? And this is a good way if you're feeling stuck between more than one person. This could be a good way of helping you to decide is what do you want for your life in the long term? Put relationship aside. You might be like, oh, well, I want to be married, or I want to be, traveling the world with my partner, whatever it might be. Put the relationship aside. Outside of your relationship, what are your personal goals for yourself? What are some things you would like to see for yourself in your life in the future? How does this person align with that? How does it fit? Does it fit? Right? And if you have had this habit where you feel like, oh, you know what? I let the wrong ones in. I always let the wrong ones in and I get burnt, right? I get hurt. I always trust the wrong ones. If you can look at it with that vision, the long-term vision, I guarantee you won't get deceived and pulled in with the, letting the wrong ones in if you're thinking long term. And if you're really thinking about, well, what's good for me, or what's good for me. One thing, if you notice, the people who don't get, and I think Leos have a hard time with this, the people who don't get burnt, really, the people who don't get screwed over, excuse my language, are the people who are thinking for themselves, right? And so some people are super, super conceited and super selfish. And sometimes Leos can end up dealing with people like that because Leos really want to please, right? Leos really want to give. When they love, they have a really big heart and they want to give and give and give and give and give. And then so that can attract people who take, right? So in this instance, Leo, you need to look at the relationship not in terms of, you know, what you have to offer this person or how you can prove yourself to this person, or, you know, well, I've done so much, but they're not reciprocating enough. Instead of looking at it in this moment now, think about yourself. Think about yourself. It's self-preservation. It's not a selfish thing to do. It's not selfish in a bad way. It's selfish in a self-preservation healthy way. What's going to be good for you in the future, and where does this person fit into it? If you do that, you won't end up making the wrong choice or, you know, letting the wrong one in and then having disappointment. Your next card here is the Hermit. So some of you might just full on be in an area where you just want to withdraw and be single for a bit, or you're wanting some time to yourself. Some of you might be feeling overwhelmed by a relationship and you're needing space. Okay. The Hermit could indicate that some of you are dealing with a Virgo. Now, this is a general reading, so I like to go over the different ways that the cards apply. If this was a private personal reading and like I had this person, you know, just one person to focus on, then I can really, really feel the specific energies around the card and I can say how it's going to apply to that specific person. But you know, we've got a bunch of Leos that are going to be watching this video, so it's going to be different for different ones of you. Some of you are dealing with a Virgo. Some of you are intentionally deciding that you're not ready to enter back into love just right now. You're wanting some time to yourself. Some of you have a bigger dilemma, Leo, and I'm going to be very honest here. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. Some of you, the dilemma here with this really big decision that you have to make involves your spiritual growth and spirituality. You might be in a relationship with someone that you've been with for a very long time, and there might be some very good things about this person. But the issue or problem might be that, you know, maybe you're growing and they're not, right? Or vice versa. Maybe they're growing in a way where their spiritual path is taking them from a different path than yours, and you're having to think about that. You're having to think about how this is the relationship energy here for you guys, is thinking about the long term, So I do feel, Leo, I'm actually glad to see the Hermit, because the thing about the Hermit is, like I said, the Hermit's going to take a step back and look at the bigger picture and, like, you know, examine themselves and who they are and what they want and where they're going and what they believe and all that deep, deep stuff. So I really feel like you're looking at a relationship with a more detailed eye. And you're really thinking about the long term. This could be coming off for some of you as a make it or break it. Like a make it or break it kind of situation. And for other ones of you, you are just really, really ready to completely and totally take a step away, maybe not necessarily from love, but from your current circle of people, the current group of people that you've been around, and go gravitate, allow yourself to go towards the things that you're feeling pulled or called towards or gravitating towards in terms of your beliefs or spiritual beliefs. And in this process, you're finding soul family, and you're finding someone who's better suited for this new Leo, this awake and grown Leo. Your next card here, my dears, is the Magician. There could be a Gemini. Some of you may be dealing with a Gemini. But also, this is the funny thing. I kind of feel like the Virgo thing is being confirmed for some of you, because Virgo is also associated with the Magician. And I don't know why, but but the last time I said that in a reading, somebody flipped out. They were like, you are, no, it's Gemini and you don't know your cards and you don't know astrology. And they were very angry. They were very upset. But I promise you, if you go and if you look up the Magician, you will find certain sources that explain why there's an element of Virgo with this card as well. There's an earth element with this card as well, right? There's the air element of Gemini and there's the earth element of Virgo. And the Hermit is just straight Virgo. So some of you may have Virgo energy coming in here. Okay, I would even say, Leo, if you have, and please forgive me if this isn't possible, because I know sometimes there's some planetary combinations that just don't happen, but I am not an astrologer by any means at all. I read intuitively. But because I feel this Virgo energy repeating twice, it might be a good idea for you, Leo, to see where like Virgo is placed in your chart, like what house or what area of your life, and that area of your life may be affecting your love life or be a big part of your love life, right? Like that might be the area of your life that you're focusing on when you're meeting your person, or that might be the area of your life that once you get it together, it's going to strengthen an existing relationship. I can't do chart breakdowns and chart analysis. I'm not qualified for it. I don't know enough. I don't know enough about astrology, but I do know the Truly Divine folks offer it, and they do offer you guys a very generous discount off your chart analysis and breakdown, as well as love and relationship compatibility reports. And you can use the 30% off code as many times as you want, as many reports as you want. So I'll have them in the description as well. But there could definitely be a Virgo coming in for some of you, or it might be a good idea to look at, you know, the planetary placement of Virgo for yourselves. The Magician overall, though, is very positive in terms of manifesting and in terms of creating, right? I see the little dolphins in the background that are like a playfulness here jumping out at me. I see the pink really jumping out at me, and that dark pink can definitely be associated with Archangel Jophiel, and she usually comes into our life when we're at a fresh start, we're at a new beginning, and she's helping us to bring beauty and positivity into our life. And so the Magician element here also is going to be about creating, about manifesting this whole new way of living. So a lot of you, if you're able to step out of the fear, long story short here, Leo, if you're able to step out of your fear in August, you're going to be able to manifest the kind of relationship that you want. You're going to manifest the ideal situation or the ideal person. Alrighty, my darlings. Be sure to watch your channeled angel messages for August if you haven't already. Those could be very helpful and healing. And the weekly forecasts. Don't forget to check that out as well. I want to say a big thank you to Rapid Luxury for the beautiful nails. You guys will see why I have these orange and yellow nails. They reminded me of the giveaway for August that I'm going to be doing on Instagram and Facebook, which I'm going to be posting this weekend. But I have a giveaway, and it made me think of the giveaway. I thank you guys all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, my dears. Bye.